Y'all, we have a guest on the podcast for the first time since October 24th, 2024. Let's get it, 77 Flavors. Yeah. Boy. Remember back in the day when we used to start the podcast out with the old music and we used to be like, yo, this is a vibe. It just got us hyped up.
Do you think you still remember the
Nah, absolutely
intro?
not. But I just know the vibe that I got from
I feel like if you play it, I'll remember it.
Maybe.
We said that like every week for
3 years.
3 years in a row.
Was it? It was.
I think so.
I don't know.
It was a year and a half at least.
Yeah. I remember.
It was for all the first 77.
And then we were like, let's
switch
it up. Yeah, we were like, let's switch it up. Damn. Yeah, that was wild, man.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead with the welcome?
Yeah, welcome. If you're new here, thank you for, coming.
Wow.
If this is not your first episode, welcome back. Wow, what a treat that you came back. We're so happy to have you. Please make sure you are subscribed so that you get a notification every time we post a new episode, which is every Monday. And if you have not yet, we are actually on YouTube. You can watch you can watch the podcast you're listening to right now on YouTube. Follow us all over socials. We post a ton of like companion content for the episode every week, and you'll learn even more.
Yeah.
And if you haven't yet, check out our new website. It is up and running, 77flavors.org.
Y'all.
It is really
Beautiful.
cute. We're very proud of it. And
Man, remember back in the day when we knew for a fact that the best experience to listen to the podcast was Apple? And now, to me, if y'all Spotify listeners is out there, y'all probably got the best experience now.
because you can watch us on Spotify.
And it's twofold. It's a two-way street because you can watch us and vibe out and listen to the podcast. But for us, you can watch us and it absolutely counts towards a spin.
Right.
Whereas if you go to YouTube, you can listen to the podcast on there, but that feed is not video; it's just audio. But if you want to watch the video on YouTube, that don't count towards our streaming numbers.
Right.
It counts towards the YouTube stream numbers. So
Which is also
is fantastic. But if I'm talking dollars and cents, that Spotify, until Apple get their stuff together.
I know they will. It's new.
Yeah,
it's new.
it's
So
new.
Apple's releasing a thing where you can now watch videos, podcast videos on Apple. They've been doing it for music videos for a while.
Yeah.
But I think the podcast portion is new.
Yeah.
So not all distributors have that feature. Most distributors don't have that feature.
And let me tell you something. Buzzsprout, if you listening, because we on here. Buzzsprout, please hurry up. We pay y'all good money a year.
I want to put my video on there.
I'm trying to tell you, but you know what Spotify got to get with the upload, because that upload last week's episode. Sorry for if you watched it, day one and we didn't have a video up for you, but that's because Spotify I had to upload that thing like 5 different times.
Yeah.
I didn't get it finished uploaded until almost 10 o'clock the day it was released.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, so Tuesday you was good if you seen it there.
I think it's because Netflix now has podcasts. I think that's the urgency here to get videos up. But you guys don't care about that, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Oh, my week was fantastic. I got to use my camera a whole bunch. That's all I care about a lot of times.
I mean, I was there, but tell us.
Yo, so we shoot for Chef Sarah Stegner over at Prairie Grass Cafe, and working on some things with Chicago Chefs Cook. If you don't know who they are a organization of Chicago chefs that cook for different foundations and organizations for the good. Yeah. And very short. But Sarah Stegner, we've been working her for a long time now. Yeah. And we were at Frontera.
Yeah, because they have an event coming up on March 26th, which is I think 30 chefs or something are coming together to cook for different causes. Yeah. Right. And so
it was cool.
We went to Frontera to help them film a little video promoting the event.
Chef Javonica Jacobs.
Yeah, she's so good, by the way.
Here's, not only is she good, you know what I mean, but eloquent on the mic.
Yeah,
you know
she's
what I mean?
Nice.
Eloquent on the mic.
She knows exactly what she's talking about.
And is very articulate. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to be like, oh, the black woman. I say, no. That's not what this is. I'm just saying.
Well, chefs are usually introverted, so they don't enjoy being on camera.
Yeah, that's where I'm
coming
from.
And I think she does.
Yeah.
I think she's very like comfortable with the camera, which
done
is
been here
really
before.
interesting. And I think it's because Chef Bayless is like her mentor.
I mean, and he's also a monster on the mic.
I mean, that was most of his career was on camera. So
man, look, I was walking by. Here's the thing: I was walking by when I went to the bathroom at Frontera, and he got all his accolades on the wall, all the newspaper, printing magazines, and everything. Yeah. I walked by. This man in 1995 was the chef of the millennium. What?
I was too.
I don't even know if I read that correctly. So correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But like this man, it had up there the chef of the millennium. I don't know if that was the organization or whatever.
I think he was also one of the first chefs to win a James Beard. Like early on in the 90s, he was. Man, I believe.
God,
I don't know. He's very like, you know.
And let me tell you, that food.
What's the word when someone has a lot of accolades? Like they're very
accomplished.
No.
Shit.
Like it's. Crap.
I don't know, but he got a lot of accolades.
I think the word comes from like a general's jacket that has a lot of pins in it.
He patched up. Yeah.
Definitely not patched up.
Very, very official up here.
And whatever.
That's how our dog walks through the camera.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. But then
decorated.
Decorated. There it is. Decorated. You know, accoladed. Decorated.
Accoladed.
Yeah, it was Frontera. If you haven't been there, go ahead and check it out. They are.
This was your first time trying it.
Don't say that loud on the camera.
Why? I mean, to be fair, we've eaten at like over 300 restaurants in the last 5 years. It's hard to go. But we've had their food at other places. Right. It's just like going into the restaurant was the first time. But like we've had Chef Javonica's food. We've had Chef Bayless.
Seen her do food live in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, but him too.
But going to Frontera was the first time.
And it's an experience. The art on the wall in Frontera is absolutely beautiful.
They've been collecting it for forever. Anyway, this is not about Frontera, but it was just a fun experience. But then that same day, we went to the Chicago Fire groundbreaking, which was so cool.
Yo, oh my God.
It was such a fun, it was so fun. It was a lot of people, and they had the MLS, what did they?
The commissioner.
Commissioner, there it is.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, wild. Do all commissioners go to every like stadium opening?
I would imagine. Hell yeah, they
really?
do. Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of fun having.
If you're the leader of a whole league and you don't pull up to the league getting a new stadium, that'd be. I
don't know. Wild. I mean, I don't know how that. I don't know. That's part of the job description. But it's so cool having something like specific for the Fire.
Yeah.
And we love the organization. They're so nice to us. They invite us to a ton of games, and they're just great.
They're good people.
Yeah.
Being there, it was, not trying to toot horns or anything, but there's only a handful of influences there, right? Literally less than a handful of influences there. And to be one of the ones to witness, and here's the gravity of it, y'all. We are witnessing a brand new stadium being built,
which is the first time in like 30 years or something.
Yeah, like 30 years has been like.
Because like last thing was United, no?
I believe the United Center was the last one.
Or Wintrust.
Maybe Wintrust. I mean, maybe Wintrust was the last one. United Center was a woo. That was what, 94, 95? Yeah.
So like almost
30 years. Over 30 years.
Wintrust doesn't count as like a team specific because it's not for any team.
I don't think so, but it's a stadium.
It's like for DePaul.
It's a stadium.
I thought
so.
DePaul
I don't know.
owned it.
I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know technicalities.
I think they said it's the first time in 30 years that a stadium was built specifically for a team.
Maybe I don't know this, but we were there. Is what I'm saying, and it was very cool. You know, here's the thing that I like about the whole event is that we got to document that we were there, right? But like they give you these little memento pieces. We got the scarf, the Chicago Fire FC scarf with the date,
and I think the lot like the specific location of where we are. And if you're not familiar, this is what it's like a development area called the 78.
Yeah,
and
specify that. And we say neighborhood, but
the development area.
What y'all think about this? Is it a neighborhood or is it a development? I mean, because it's a development group, is what they were saying.
It's whatever it wants to be. I'm not.
Yeah, you said that's neither here nor there.
That's not the hill I'm dying on. And it's been empty for like they've owned it for like a decade, and it's just been empty, and it's so nice to have this coming
for a while. Been
here. I don't know. I'm excited about it. We live in the neighborhood, so it'll be
dope to be able to walk there. Yeah. That was fun. What else did we do this week?
Well, we filmed this episode.
Yeah.
So
my God.
At the beginning of this episode, obviously we're on our couch where we usually are, but the second half of the episode, we actually are at Sox Stadium, right field. and the Sox, they emailed us and they were like, "Hey, there's a story we kind of want to share. Are you interested in like helping us tell the story?"
Yes,
and we're like, "Yeah, we're absolutely interested in helping you tell
Perfect
the story."
timing.
It's specifically about one of their co-owners, part owners, and Mickey. She is I don't think the camera can capture her energy.
No.
Like she is iconic.
As I edited, because I already edited the piece that I'm gonna insert inside of here, but like you can kind of capture that energy because as the episode was going, we was vibing out.
Yeah,
and it almost sucked to like have to stop.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like
I know she's a busy woman. We had to respect her schedule.
Yeah.
We had other stuff to do, but she was so generous with her time. I mean, we had planned for we'll talk maybe for like 30 minutes, but truly, she she went out with us on the field, like. She was just super nice. The entire Sox organization is phenomenal. Like they're incredible to just even be around. Yeah. Like every time we've gone to anything, they're just so nice to us.
Now, if you are unfamiliar with who Mickey is, full name, Carol Mickey Norton, who was the first woman in Chicago to work the floor at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Yeah.
Y'all, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, if you don't know, if you're unfamiliar, is
CME.
It's the CME, but it started off, and we talked about this before during our what was it, the 30 for 30 street names. Yeah. It started off as the Chicago Butter and Egg Exchange.
Right.
Yeah, and they trade agriculture and produce, things like that. So that was in 1898. And so think about it. It went a long time before they had a woman be a trader.
And probably, like, I would say it was probably not great. Like, not a lot of women after her. You know what I mean? Like, the floor didn't open for women really well in a welcoming way, probably for a while.
She walked us through.
Yeah. And she has a book coming out, which is really, I mean, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read it.
Something else too. She, why are we at the Sox Stadium? Well, in 1981, she became a part-time investor in the White Sox.
Right.
And so that's fantastic.
Yeah. And wasn't she like one of the first women too?
Yeah, to do that. And that story is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, hearing her talk about Reinsdorf.
She did a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
I mean, the names she was dropping, I was like, that's... Yeah. Like, why are you sitting here with us?
Man, look, you know what? Honestly, I said it to while we were there, but I'm like, man, I blacked out.
I know.
While I'm sitting, I'm like looking at her like this, and she talking, dropping these names. Now, a couple things going through my mind. We sitting inside of the White Sox clubhouse.
Yeah.
Doing this interview.
Which I've never been in a clubhouse before.
At all.
We've been to the we've been on the field in a few places, but like that's really the extent of it.
That's the extent. But then she started talking about names that I know from the sports that I love. About how she was kicking it with him. That's how she got in with.
Yeah.
It just, for a moment, like, it was like time stopped and all of hers,
and you were just like.
And I'm just like, bro, I'm just a kid from the south side of Chicago. How the hell did I get here?
You know what I think is like the thing that stuck with me the most that she said, and I can't wait for you to hear this interview in a second, but the thing that really stuck with me the most is she demanded a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like whatever she wanted, she went in and took it.
She got it.
Like she really pushed to fulfill her dreams in a time where like maybe it wasn't possible. Like she really worked hard. She demanded respect. Yeah. Like she was in these rooms and she worked. I mean,
and the thing is, we're gonna get to the episode very shortly here, but like the thing with this is she just wasn't a woman that got the position. She was good at her job.
Yeah.
That was it.
She was phenomenal.
That's it. That's what you need to take away from this.
Yeah.
She was damn good.
Yeah.
So we had a chance to sit down, like we said. So we're gonna play the interview for you, and we'll come back after the interview. Enjoy.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carol, do you like us to call you? Are you okay if we call you Mickey, or is that too?
To call me. I don't answer to Carol.
I like that. Okay, cool.
Like
When we were coming here, we were like, I'm not calling her Mickey. Like, I don't know.
Like, is that a close friends
Teachers I used to have. Anywhere I used my name like in contract bridge, in bridge tournaments. I was Carol, and people would call me Carol, so I would know who it was. Anything that's formal, but outside of that.
Yeah.
I've
I didn't
been
know if it was
Mickey
like a
since the
friend
day
from
I was
family.
born.
Oh, wow. Do you know where the name came from, or did they?
I had an uncle named Michael.
Okay.
And some of my friends, or not my friends, I guess it was my relatives, that saw me and said, oh, she looks like a little Mickey.
And that's how it stuck, huh?
And I'm still not a big Mickey, but I'm still Mickey.
Still a Mickey nonetheless.
I love that.
Well, honestly, this when we were told about you and like what you've done, and we were like, this is perfect for Women's History Month. So we're doing Women's History Month, and honestly, hearing your story is just fantastic.
insane.
It was fun living.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into it a little bit if you don't mind. You know, like I feel like it's fun.
Did you know I'm writing a book?
We do know you writing a book. Yeah.
When does your book come
Yeah.
out?
March. May.
May?
I know it begins with an M.
Yeah, right. It's one of those M months. So, and it's a memoir. My Life, My Way, and Game Changers is the header. What is it about? Talk to us.
Me.
Yeah, I know. like the Game
I was
Changers.
born.
Yeah.
I lived. I had a mother and a daddy. And
Is
and a
the Mickey story in
sister.
there?
It's a Mickey story. And then I did some interesting things. When I went to college, I graduated college at 19.
Oh wow!
wow.
Majored in math, and my counselor said, "What do you want to be?" And I said, "A mathematician." And he said, "How would you like to be an actuary?" I said, "Great. What is it?" So I studied actuarial science and worked as an actuary till I had an unfortunate marriage. And then I worked for Adlai Stevenson's private staff for the 56 campaign,
Oh wow!
Wow.
which was interesting.
I went to Adlai E. Stevenson Elementary.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, right over there on Costner. Yeah.
And then when he lost, I stayed in Washington. I worked for I was a legislative assistant to a senator, a new senator. And then I made the mistake and got married again. So I've been very smart about it ever since. Then I raised my children.
Yeah.
I was home.
Good.
I said I wasn't home rocking my babies. You know, I'd play golf, and
Yeah.
I'd play bridge, but I was
You were there.
there.
Yeah.
And then I became a trader.
And
So how did you go from a stay-at-home parent to a trader?
I was a tournament bridge player, and I met this man, Leo Malaman, who was the father of financial futures, at a bridge tournament, and he was playing. And he thought we were suckers, and my partner said, he's the sucker. And he said, let's play all night. I said, I can't do that. I have 3 children at home. At the time, I had 2 children at home. And he said, well, if you like money, because my partner kept talking about the money, give me a check for $10,000 and I'll trade for you. So I wrote a check and sent my then husband with the check to him. And he was trading. It was, Greek to me, but it was interesting.
you trusted him with $10,000?
With $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
Was that trust a result of you being up all night, or
Yeah.
No, I
just
didn't
trusted
stay
him?
up.
Oh, you didn't stay up.
You had to sleep.
I didn't. I mean, my children did come first.
Right.
Okay.
So then I started charting for him. And then by charting, I was learning the markets. And I knew his interpretation of the markets. And when I first met him, the CME
Yep.
There you go.
was $5,000. And he said, why don't you buy a seat? I said, I'm not going to buy a seat. I have children.
Yeah.
And then it became 10. And then when he was chairman of the board, it was 30. And then I should have known he was what made Charlie Rudd or something.
Yeah.
I knew he'd be good. I still wouldn't buy a seat.
Yeah.
And then one day at a bridge table, he said, if you could trade hogs, see, the Board of Trade was grains,
Yeah.
and we were hogs and bellies.
Yeah.
And he said, why can't you trade the ultimate commodity, money? So that dinged in
Yeah,
my head.
ring
and
the
I
bell.
said, now I will buy a seat. And they were $10,000 for a seat.
Wow.
And this is all the money that I made when I worked, which is $400 a month when I worked in Washington.
Oh my God! So you took the biggest gamble you could possibly think of.
I took a big gamble.
Oh my God!
But, and the first day I was there, I made one trade, and actually the man that Leo had been playing with said to me, buy this, sell this. I made $70. I said, I'm God's gift to the financial world.
You said they wouldn't be here without
No
you.
one's ever done this. Yeah.
And, and I was the only woman trading. I was the only woman. Women weren't allowed on the
I was going to ask about that. That
They
must have
weren't
been
allowed. And Leo did get that changed. His mother, who had been, they were in Poland, they had to leave before the war and all, but she believed women should do things.
Yeah, yeah.
So she entrusted that in his mind, and he made it so that women could be on the floor. And so when I chartered, I was just one of the women. They were clerks.
Yeah, and they treated you like that, right?
And they all wore pants, and I wore pants. And then when I became a trader, one day I had a luncheon, and one of the men said to me, I had a skirt on, oh, we do have a woman trader. I never, ever wore pants again for 20 years.
Wow. So was that the first time, because you were the first woman on the IMM?
Supposedly the first woman on any floor, but I'm not going to, I don't know. It's very hard to check.
It's hard to check.
I'm definitely the first woman in Chicago at the Chicago Mercantile, which was the IMM, which wasn't a part of the CME. And then now the first year we were traders, and the guys were wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the first question everybody asks me.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Yeah.
If you prove yourself, they accept you.
Wow.
If you start crying or whining or doing something, I'm sure it's a different story.
I mean, you were making the money too, so yeah. I'm sure they loved you. Yeah, that helps.
So the first year, the Merc had their big dinner, and they didn't invite us.
Oh.
So I arranged a dinner at Hackney's in the suburbs, the hamburger place.
Okay.
So we had our banquet. So the next year, they invited us to theirs. I'm surprised it wasn't at Hackney's, since we probably had more fun.
Well, you got no management over you. It was loose.
But it was fun.
What was an important lesson that you learned in those first few years of probably being the first woman working?
One thing that I learned very much is I made one trade. You're reading my whole book.
We'll charge for this episode then.
There was a trade we were board marking, and which meant that someone was putting down your trades, and they'd start here. It was on a blackboard, and they'd start here, and then as people did it, they came up. So I sold something. And so did everybody else. But it was here. He was checking them here. When he came down to here, there was nothing left. Yeah. I was the first one.
Wow.
I said I was the first one. And then when I get really mad, I'll start crying. So I walked off the floor to go to the ladies' room, and I went this way, and the ladies' room was that way. Oh, no. So I don't walk back. When I walked back, everybody was losing money. Except me, because the trade did not work. So from then on, I learned, if anybody argued, it's my trade, I said, it's your trade. I would never argue with it. I would get the trading gods mad at me again, and I don't want that.
I don't want to give away everything in your book, so my last question about the book and about your life story is, why is it important for you to talk about this now? Or why did you even decide to write?
People have asked me for years, and for years to tell my story. Yeah. And I really want my story for my grandchildren to really understand who I am and what I did. But I was on an airplane one time, and I have a ghostwriter, but he's a ghost. Yeah. I wanted to write
an actual ghost.
So he's great. He's super. But he came in the middle or the end, and he just embellished what I said. I'm not flowery, so anything you see flowery,
it was him.
Yeah. That's usually Sarah in my case. Yes.
So but it asked me. So I picked up a barf bag and started writing.
Did you really?
Wow.
And it just poured out of me. You know what I was saying. So that's how I started to write my book.
Wow.
But that was maybe 4 or 5 years before I really took pen to hand again, or I even did a little bit on the computer.
A little bit.
It's easier to write when you
Right.
write.
Yeah. It's it's a little bit more tactile and the feelings.
But
flow
now
through the
I'm
pen.
driving him crazy because it's supposed to be finished, and I forgot to tell you about this.
Yeah.
2 days ago, I said, I met 6 presidents.
Wow.
So you could say I met 6, but they weren't all presidents when I met them. I met Truman because we went to the airport to pick up Stevenson one time. So he was already not a president, but he had been a president. I met Kennedy. I met Obama when they were senators.
Wow.
So I can't really say I met all
You met the president. Yeah.
As you look back, they were presidents.
Yeah. It's kind of like a nice segue to sports because Obama was a big sports fan.
But he thinks the White Sox won because of him. And that's what he said to me. I used to be active on the Council
That's bold.
of Foreign Relations, which is now Global Affairs. And I first met him there, and he said, the White Sox lost the first game in the playoffs, in the World Series, and he threw out the pitch in the second game, and we never lost again.
Yeah.
He thinks that's him. Now, actually, it was when we played in Boston, I was sitting under something that dripped. And my boyfriend said to me, "Why don't you move? There's a seat there. Someone will change with you." I said, "I can't. We're winning." So it was really me, not him.
Not him, right? we got that on record. Yeah. We got
that part. Make sure
we'll let him know. How does that feel to be? You became in 1981 part investor in the Sox, the Bulls, and
the Bulls was 85.
80. Okay, so how did that come about? Like, what made you say, "Hey, I want to jump into this"?
Well, I didn't know I would.
Yeah.
But I came here. Lee Stern, I had met. He was at the Board of Trade, and he was on the PR committee. I was on the Merck PR committee, and we met at a thing. And he invited me for dinner with he and his wife, and we ate in this private room, the bar room. And I thought, this really exists. That was the old one. It was all wood, and it had a fireplace, and they didn't allow women in one room or whatever.
Oh my goodness!
So I went in. And I almost got in, and that someone on the place was going to sell, and they didn't. And then a couple of months later, Jerry Reinsdorf about the whole thing, and Lee called and said, "They're taking people now." So that's how I came in.
Were you a sports fan already,
Yeah.
or
My father had 2 daughters.
Yeah.
He had a wife that would go to championships, but my mother didn't want to go to anything
Right.
unless it was a champion.
Yeah.
So he took us to everything. The Harlem Globetrotters, the Bears, we had season tickets, everything. I went to everything.
Wow.
And so I did like sports. In fact, as I say in the book, guys that took my sister, I said it's like going out with the guys because we could talk sports,
Yeah, you
go to
can talk.
sports and like sports, and
Yeah.
wouldn't turn the television off because sports are on.
and you said before we started talking, you still go to every
Every
home
game.
game.
I go to every Bulls, Blackhawks, and White Sox home game.
Man, I want to know.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games. You got hardware on your fingers there. We were talking before the cameras came on about we need more hardware. How was that season with the Sox that they won the World Series?
It was about time.
Yeah, it was about
First thing I would
88
say-
year. Yeah.
No, it was great. It was great. Actually, the season wasn't fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
And
No.
so, but the playoffs were unbelievable. I go to every playoff.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anybody ever gets there, I get to every.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back. I got faith in it. Well, during that season, because you're right, the season, and we're talking sports here.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sorry.
I caught that.
But that season, I think it was a game 163, right? We had to play the Twins to get in one more game. I feel like I remember that.
Your memory's better than mine.
All right, maybe-
You don't
maybe.
have to remember it as long as I do.
Yeah. But like as an investor, what's the mentality of you see this team?
83. Now we got in 81.
Yeah.
83, we got to the playoffs, and we thought, I mean, my luck had been so great in my life. I figured we got to win in 83, which of course we didn't.
Yeah.
But I remember because we went to the playoffs there. But I had a much better feeling in 83 than I did
Yeah.
in 05.
Yeah. When 05 started, when the playoffs actually started, though,
If the
that
playoffs
team-
actually started, I thought we were going to win.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like it was magic and destined to be because like they were winning games that I mean Scott Pasednik hit a home run and he hadn't hit a home run all season. Yeah. I mean like that was
The games were unbelievable.
it
Was
was
that season one of your favorite memories? Sox memories? Yeah. Any fun stories about that season that you want to share?
I don't know if I can distinguish one season from another.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
at this
been
point,
a lot of
it
seasons.
blends.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot going on.
I won't tell you the whole story because the security guy was trying to stop us from going on the field.
He didn't know who you were?
Yes, he did. And he's a good friend of mine.
Oh,
He's a good friend
okay.
of mine now, but why shouldn't we be there and enjoy it?
Yeah.
And we went there. I'll tell you an interesting story there. So we had a party afterward at the hotel, and Bobby Jenks, who was incredible.
Yes, rest in peace, Bobby Jenks.
And he was telling me, he was saying, I said, do you realize beside for the White Sox who haven't had a victory or not even a victory, been in the playoffs since whatever year it was that I can't remember now. And I said, not only that, we investors have been here 25 years and we haven't had anything. And he said, I've been here 6 months.
He was the X factor. He was the X factor when Ozzy did that. It was lights out at that point. Yeah, but
wild.
now did the Bulls come with the? Was that part of the deal? If you became a Sox investor, how did that come about?
There were a lot of investors in the Sox.
Yeah.
It was new to Jerry, and people would come and have maybe 3 or 4 people on their one unit, and there were a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he did not want that for the Bulls.
Gotcha.
So he picked people whom he wanted and who didn't make waves and didn't talk. So he picked me, and then I started talking.
Yeah. Once the contract is signed, you can do whatever.
Exactly.
That's funny. What advice do you I mean, obviously times have changed over the last few decades, but what advice would you have for women entering sports or entering finance or...
Finance, definitely, I could talk on because women were afraid of it. I think there are a lot now. But first of all, at the time when I did it, I was finished at 2:00.
Yeah.
So I could pick my children up
Right.
at school. I could take them to dancing and hockey and whatever they were playing at the time. And it was wonderful for women. And I really talked to people. Any conference that I had, I would speech about that. But the thing was, I couldn't really do many speeches because I never knew how many Swiss francs were in a contract. I mean, I never learned any of those things. When I was bullish, I bought, and when I was bearish, I sold. So I couldn't transfer that part. I could transfer what it is to be a woman in the field.
But honestly, that's half the battle. You know what I mean? Because like we see a lot of women in sports now, and a lot of women doing in finance. We look at Carly Ursay, who is coming in. When she came in, everybody wanted to say she got the clipboard. She on the sidelines with them. They had a good season though. they had a good season. So I feel like it shouldn't be a taboo subject or anything like that for women to be in anything.
It shouldn't feel like a token.
Right, exactly. It shouldn't be because
I was definitely not a token.
No. I mean, you were a mover and shaker though. You were you were making the money.
Okay, tell us about your jersey that you're wearing.
Yeah.
I want to know, why did you pick the number? Is it 6? Is that the number?
No, it's 26.
26.
I said that too because I wonder why it was a 95. I won't tell you why it should be 95.
Why should it be 95?
But this is my age.
Yeah, I must say, yeah.
Oh.
You get one next year then too. So.
But 26 is the year. I figured that out. It didn't take too long.
There was no chance I was putting the other number on there.
I was
26 was the
interviewed
year
years
It's
ago.
this year, 2026.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2026. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took me a
got
minute.
It took me.
What?
And then
I'm not
you have the
26.
patch on the side of your arm. What is the patch? What is that?
CME.
Well, this year I got a phone call from the White Sox, and they said, "Would you introduce us to someone? We'd like to have the Chicago Mercantile Exchange have a patch on our jerseys." So I put together Jerry Reinsdorf and Terry Duffy.
Oh wow.
Terry Duffy is chairman of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, who are both friends of mine. and put them together to make a deal. And now we have a patch on our jersey
I
for
love
the
that.
Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
What does that mean to you? This intersection of your previous life and now this life. How does that
They
feel?
converge.
Yeah.
It's nice that they converge.
Yeah.
My three favorite things are the Bulls. Well, I have to sneak in the Blackhawks.
Yeah, go ahead, sneak them in. Yeah.
Well, hockey's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, I started a youth hockey organization.
We did not know this. Tell us.
My son played hockey, and he started at the Saddle and Cycle Club, which is a very small rink. And then he went and he was AAA, which are the best of the younger ones. And we belonged to what then was called the Minor Hawks.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we had no connection with the Blackhawks, so it was called the Minor Hawks. And the gentleman in charge would charge us for his gas to come and see us once a month to play or do something. And it really irritated me. And of course, I had gotten myself, I was already manager of our team because I didn't like what the manager was doing and wanted to do it our way. So then we were at a tournament, and one of the men came up to me about my team, and he was talking about my coach, and he took his finger and he's going like,
No.
and I'm watching this figure, and I
Swatted it.
and my son is in the locker room hearing this.
Oh,
Someone else has said the police are coming.
oh no! They didn't call the cops on you, did they?
And I hit a Denny's. So then they said that I would
hit a
have to go
Denny's.
on probation or something. So they had the head of AHI called me,
No.
and he called me up. I said, "How would you like a AAA organization at your rig?" And he said, "That would be great." So we started at this rink, which is in Bensonville near the airport.
Yeah.
And I started Team Illinois.
Wow.
Now, when I started Team Illinois, we had my son's group and we had Eddie Olachek's group, which
Wow.
Eddie later became not only an Olympian, a Hall of Famer, a
legend.
wonderful broadcaster, a wonderful player, but we had the two teams. And I did get a lot of support. They didn't found. I was the only founder.
Wow. Good.
But they helped, whatever help was needed. And then it grew. So the first year we had two teams, and then we had probably 4 or 6, and it's a whole organization. Wow. We're the first ones to take women's teams.
Wow.
So that was exciting. So hockey is really one of my favorite sports, but really probably my favorite sport.
Really?
And
Can I say that?
yeah. You're part investor. It is what it is. So you're in the Hall of Fame for that too, right?
Illinois Hall of Fame.
Illinois Hall of Fame. My goodness, how does that feel? Like, what?
Well, it felt really good when I did it. You know, it's always nice to see. You don't go into things to get awards, but it's nice to see that people appreciate it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you've done a lot.
Yeah, I can't wait to read your book.
Yeah.
And the things, it was great living it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I mean, you're still going right now with, what you got going here. This patch is another. Are you going to update the book now? I mean, like, what?
Well, I'm trying to get the patch in the book. So the only one that my boyfriend took that looked good was the back of me.
Yeah.
And it had Mickey, Norton 26 and the patch. And I'd like that for my back cover. But you can't see it's me.
Right.
Well,
So
put it on the inside.
front.
Put it on the inside. Yeah, right. No, it's all good.
Well, it'll probably be there. But, I like, it's like
A
saying
face
goodbye.
Yeah.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a picture of your face on there. I love that.
I haven't decided yet. I was still finding that out.
This you funny. You thought about
I don't
being a
mean
comedian?
to be funny.
Yeah. You just keeping it real, huh?
But the front will have my life. It'll have part of the floor of the Mercantile Exchange, a view of the White Sox Park, and a view of the basketball court.
Wow.
So that says it all.
Cool.
That's gotta.
Except for everything else I did.
Yeah. Is the probation story in there? The cops and cards?
I said, if it's a story of my life, it has to say those things.
It's got to be in there. That feels good. What would you say to anybody, woman, little girl, that is going to see this or read your book? What's one bit of advice that you would give to that individual?
that you could climb any mountain. All you have to do is want it and go for it and put your heart and soul into it, and you can be whatever you want to be. My father taught me this, and he was my rock. And unfortunately, he never lived to see me have the teams. He did live. When I first went to Washington to work for a center, they had a whole piece in the Washington Post, half a page of it, and a picture. And he was so proud of it. He was a doctor, and the hospital was just had pictures posted all over the hospital. I love that. So I'm sorry, he would have loved. He's being such a sport person himself. He would have just loved it. Then my mother started to come to games with me.
Yeah.
She wouldn't go to anything.
She wouldn't go anything. That she
championships started going, and then people would. She would always sit a little back because I always sat forward, and she didn't want all the stairs. And people would say, "Hi, Edith," or something. Edith, and I said, "Mother, you taught me never to talk to strangers." She said, "At my age, I can." But she really liked going then. It was funny.
That's amazing. Honestly, thank
you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for spending the time with us. And we looked.
It was nice being with you.
Absolutely.
I feel like you're the most accomplished person we've ever interviewed on.
Yeah.
Well,
For real.
By far.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to some other people.
All the people we know.
We're trying. We're trying to get there. Mickey, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And
Did my patch show?
yeah, we gonna get the patch though. I'm gonna get B-roll and make sure we get the patch in there for you.
sure.
This was so
Thank
fun.
you.
Carol Mickey Norton, ladies and gentlemen. Such a fantastic interview. Even better person.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah. Yeah, she was good. She
Yeah.
was. I mean, you see what we were saying? Like, she a vibe.
Yeah.
She's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, and I hate that we had to cut the interview off. And when we were leaving, when it was all said and done, she go, "I gotta leave these people." Boy, if you all, the tears almost start coming down because I'm like, you know what?
She's she's a legend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still in awe that she.
Yeah.
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 I can't wait to be 95 and drop her name
Shit.
on an interview. I'd be like,
right.
I'm like 60 years ago.
95, boy, give me a week. I'm about give me a week. I'm dropping names. You know, like you got a week of this because we about to cut up some clips. We about to soundbite this because it was fantastic. Y'all, if you listen to this episode all the way through, you know the sound bites. But man, shout out to the White Sox for allowing us inside the clubhouse, onto the field, in the dugout.
They're just so generous. I mean, I love it.
You know, we were talking. We were kind of talking after it's all said and done. We got more stories here.
Yeah,
you know that we can talk.
I kind of was like, hey, we have some ideas. Like, are you guys open? And you know, obviously, like, season about to start, but we're gonna try and work on some more stories that we can tell. I feel like we love when city organizations are like willing to work with us to like give us access to archives or give us, you know, stuff that we cannot just find anywhere. That, I mean, one of the things that, who's the contract that he said they have that was like in their archives? He was like, we have the contract of.
We got to reach back out and get her name.
I know.
You know, because like if she was the first.
Well, the player.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was like, oh yeah, I think we have that in our archives.
Yeah.
I mean, like that kind of stuff. Like we can't find. We could maybe we could see it digitally, but like I think
tangibly.
I think when like I just want to really express our appreciation for when organizations do that. Like you know, the Art Institute did that with us in the past.
Talk to them.
You know, the Sox have done it for us. Like it's just so special to. I mean, the Palmer House brought us. You know what I mean? Like all these different groups that really just
Pastor.
give us.
Take your time, Pastor.
It's so cool for us to have like a little bit of an inside look so that we can then pass that knowledge on. And that's how stories stay, because the second people stop talking about these stories, that's when they go away. That's why you lose a story within a generation. But if we're, you know, even if it's just not us, like if it's open to whatever media, I want it to be us, but like, you know, if it's open to any like media or research group or something to go in and document that, it is just so, I mean, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Like anyone that has let us in to give us a sneak peek behind the curtain.
We'll tell a story.
I mean,
we storytellers, historians, and storytellers.
I mean,
that's what we do.
That's what historians are. They're storytellers. You know what I mean? I mean, we've spent the last 5 years doing research on a weekly basis. I feel like that is longer than most master's or bachelor's degrees.
Look,
if you're a good student, I don't know.
Hey, let me tell you something.
We're not PhD level yet.
I'm
we got
open.
a few more years.
I'm open. Shit. I'm open to an honorary. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to it.
But I mean, like, yeah, and it just makes our life so much more interesting and so much easier when people let us in.
When the doors open.
Yeah.
And on that note, I want to add nothing. You did it. You nailed it.
I hope you enjoyed this one. We don't do a ton of interviews anymore, but this was a really special one. And
we might have to do.
Yeah. I mean, I love them. So
Me too.
I just love giving people insight. But if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone you love. Leave us a little review. We love to hear from you. Send us an email with any ideas. Everything is in the show notes below. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, buddy.
Peace. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media@77flavorsshy. That's the number 77 flavors and shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.